Modern life doesn't slow down, and for high-performing men between 30 and 55, that reality takes a toll. Your body might feel stiff more often, your mood is more volatile, focus comes and goes, you crash harder after workouts. These aren't random, they're signs that your recovery system, your ability to recharge from stress, is overloaded. In 2025, recovery isn't optional, it's the performance multiplier, and men are finally treating it with the respect it deserves. First, we're seeing a seismic shift away from the old model of more is better. Instead of chasing hustle and hammering the gym 6 days a week, smart men are prioritizing intelligent recovery. Because here's the truth, your growth, energy, and mental clarity don't come during work, they come after, when you've rested properly. One of the most effective recovery upgrades is breathwork, specifically slow nasal breathing protocols like box breathing or the 4-7-8 method. In just 5 minutes, these practices can reduce cortisol, activate the parasympathetic nervous system, and improve heart rate variability. Men are using these tools before sleep, after workouts, and even in midday reset breaks. The result? Deeper sleep, faster muscle repair, and improved mood regulation. Speaking of sleep, it's no longer a side note. It's the new secret weapon. Devices like 8 Sleep, Oura Ring, and Whoop are helping men track not just how long they sleep, but how well. Are you getting enough deep and REM sleep? Are you recovering fully? These questions matter more than ever. To optimize sleep, successful men are sticking to strict evening routines. That includes digital shutdowns an hour before bed, magnesium glycinate supplementation, consistent bedtimes, and blackout curtains. Some are even experimenting with sleep-enhancing teas or microdosing melatonin. Why? Because quality sleep enhances testosterone, balances cortisol, and supercharges cellular recovery. Another rising trend, active recovery. That means movement, but with intent. Think mobility drills, light cardio, foam rolling, or yoga. These practices help clear lactic acid, improve lymphatic drainage, and support mental calm. It's not about crushing your body every day. It's about maintaining momentum while letting the nervous system reset. Then there's cold exposure. Ice baths, cold plunges, cryotherapy. In 2025, these are no longer fringe. The right dose of cold, 2 to 3 minutes, several times a week, can reduce inflammation, accelerate recovery, and even elevate dopamine. The trick? Personalization. Men are using HRV scores and recovery data to time their cold exposure strategically. Too much cold after strength training can blunt adaptation, so timing matters. Nutrition also plays a pivotal role in stress reduction and recovery. Anti-inflammatory diets centered on whole foods, healthy fats, berries, and wild fish are essential. Processed sugar and seed oils, they're being cut aggressively. Men are turning to turmeric, ginger, and adaptogenic herbs not just for general health, but for their specific recovery-enhancing properties. And yes, supplementation matters, but not all supplements are created equal. In the next section, we'll break down the top recovery and stress reduction supplements men are using in 2025, how to stack them safely, and what to avoid if you want to keep your hormones, energy, and mind sharp. Recovery in 2025 isn't just a buzzword, it's a competitive edge. And for high-performing men, it's becoming clear that energy doesn't come from more caffeine or forcing another workout. It comes from how well you recover. Smarter stress reduction, not more stimulation, is how you unlock next-level performance and longevity. Let's talk first about the state of stress. In today's environment, stress is chronic, not acute. It's not just the occasional crisis. It's the drip of low-grade pressure from work deadlines, screen time, late nights, and even overtraining. And while cortisol, the primary stress hormone, is essential for survival, too much too often creates chaos. It suppresses testosterone, blunts focus, increases belly fat, and wrecks sleep. This is where men are learning a new skill, recovery timing. Daily recovery means short, deliberate actions. 10 minutes of breath work, a post-lift cold shower, a walk without your phone. Weekly recovery includes full rest days, float tank sessions, or a sauna after your last strength session of the week. Monthly recovery can look like a full day offline, an unplugged hike, or a 72-hour break from alcohol, caffeine, or social media. These layers matter because your nervous system responds to pattern, not perfection. You can't out-supplement or out-train chronic stress, but you can out-recover it. And that's where supplements come in, not as miracle cures, but as reinforcement. A truly optimized supplement stack supports your natural systems. First on the list, magnesium. Crucial for over 300 biochemical reactions. It helps muscles relax, lowers blood pressure, improves sleep, and calms an overactive nervous system. Magnesium glycinate is often best for sleep, while threonate may support brain function. Next, vitamin D, not just for bones, but for testosterone, immunity, and even mood stability. Many men have suboptimal levels, especially if they work indoors. Paired with zinc, you get a powerful testosterone support combo. Zinc also assists in stress hormone regulation and cellular repair. Omega-3s are also foundational. EPA and DHA from fish oil lower inflammation, reduce cortisol spikes, and help maintain cognitive sharpness under stress. In a high-performing man's stack, they're non-negotiable. Then we get to the heavy hitters. Ashwagandha, the adaptogen that reduces stress, promotes calm focus, and even boosts VO2 max. In clinical trials, it's shown to reduce cortisol by up to 30% and improve sleep latency. When taken consistently, especially in high-stress periods, it becomes a resilience enhancer. NMN or NR, precursors to NAD+, are more advanced options. These work at the mitochondrial level, boosting the energy factories inside your cells. Men who take these report more consistent energy, better recovery, and sharper focus, especially in midlife and beyond. But here's the new standard in 2025. Supplementation must be tracked. That means lab tests every 3 to 6 months, checking testosterone, cortisol, DHEA, nutrient levels. If you're not measuring, you're guessing. At-home test kits and health optimization platforms now make this accessible. You don't need to visit a clinic, you just need curiosity and consistency. Supplements aside, let's come back to recovery tactics that don't come in a capsule. One of the most underrated, sauna therapy. Heat exposure, especially infrared sauna 2 to 4 times a week, mimics cardiovascular training, promotes detoxification, reduces stress hormones, and enhances deep sleep. It's relaxing and hormetically beneficial, meaning it trains your body to tolerate and recover from stress better. Another one gaining popularity, float therapy. 90 minutes of complete sensory deprivation in magnesium-rich water. It's one of the fastest ways to shift your nervous system from sympathetic, fight or flight, to parasympathetic, rest, digest, repair. If you can't access a float tank, even 15 minutes of silence in a dark room with no screen can have similar benefits. The broader shift in 2025 is this: mental recovery is physical recovery. Chronic stress and overthinking drain your body like a hard workout. Cortisol affects testosterone, growth hormone, and sleep, all critical to performance. That's why high performers now have tech-free hours daily. Phones off, no notifications, just breathing room. This habit alone has restored sleep quality, reduced anxiety, and brought men back into mental balance. Another mistake men make? Training through fatigue. In 2025, more men are using data to guide their decisions. If your Oura or Whoop ring shows poor HRV and elevated resting heart rate, you're not being a slacker by taking a rest day. You're being strategic. That data doesn't lie. Men who follow their recovery scores train less, but gain more. Now let's talk long-term stress resilience. It's not just about feeling good today, it's about training your nervous system to adapt better tomorrow. That's where cold exposure, when used right, shines. 2 to 3 minutes in a cold shower or plunge reduces inflammation and boosts dopamine, which lifts mood and drive. But 2025's trend is moderation. Personalized cold exposure based on stress markers. Too much cold? You'll spike cortisol. Just enough? You train resilience without wrecking your nervous system. Recovery isn't a reward, it's a requirement. That's the shift, and it's not about perfection. Some days, recovery means 8 hours of sleep, a sauna, supplements, and a digital detox. Other days, it means taking 5 minutes to breathe before your next Zoom call. Consistency beats intensity every time. So what's the weekly game plan? Daily, take your core supplements, protect sleep, do 5 to 10 minutes of mental decompression. 3 times a week, use cold exposure, sauna, or contrast therapy. 2 times a week, fully unplug for at least 1 hour. 1x a week, block out 90 minutes for recovery. Float tank, nature hike, yoga, or massage. Every month, reflect, look at your sleep scores, training output, and mood. Adjust accordingly. Most importantly, don't confuse being busy with being effective. The men winning in 2025 are not the most productive. They're the most recovered, the most stable, and the most consistent. That's how they maintain high testosterone, clear thinking, steady energy, and resilience under pressure. Not because they're superhuman, but because they're strategic. Recovery, stress reduction, and smart supplementation are not side projects. They're the main event. So next time you hit a plateau, don't ask, what more can I do? Ask, what do I need to restore? Because that's where the real power is.